All right, so I don't know if this is gonna see the light of day. I just decided to do this. We'll see what happens. But it's my birthday tomorrow. I'm going to a hockey game tonight, so I'm wearing my Coil shirt. I'm in front of my tree, which I love my tree. My tree's everything to me. Look, it's Simba and Mufasa. Ah, love it. And yes, there's a bear, TARDIS. I love my tree. Anyways, I decided I turned 29 in about 24 plus 8, 31 hours. And maybe in that time I could do a little challenge vlog because I'm done working on my thesis until after my birthday. I have it in a place where I won't freak out and have a lot of tomorrow free because it's like for me like a weekend day because it's a Wednesday and no one will be around distracting me. Tonight I do have plans, so not a lot of time tonight, but I do have probably like 3 hours of reading I can do before going to the hockey game. And I have 2 things that are kind of short that maybe I can finish out my 28th year on this planet because I was born late on the 15th, recording this on the 14th, so I've got some time. So I'm going to show you the books with my cat in just a second. All right, here's the cat that's been really wanting to be on camera, and the 2 things I would like to start and finish is Redemption in Indigo by Karen Lord. This is unsurprising. I need to read this for Patreons anyway, and actually both of these books are based off Patreon things. This one was the read they picked for me for my TBR, and I have the audiobook for this to help me out if need be. But I usually read both of these authors really quickly. Like both of these, it's not first time for me, both of these are favorite authors. It usually goes by really, really quick. And one's a reread that I adore and love, and one's the last book for Nikki Drayden. I'm really intrigued by it too. And it's about 660 pages, so it's stretching it for me. I've honestly don't consistently read too many pages a day, but I'm kind of in a reading mood, and we'll see what happens. Chances are, though, I will end up working on my sweater or something while listening to the audiobook. Maybe I'll listen to Bones. Also, excuse the mess. My life is chaos, but here's a cat. Also, figure I'll give you a little tour of my tree because I do love it. So some things aren't super special ornaments-wise, but we do have like these resin ornaments my sibling made me. I love these like icicle things that are all around the tree. This is an ornament that my roommate gave me way back in college. A new addition last year was this new Simba one. We have Waluigi on the top of the tree, much to Michael Knipp's despair, although we don't mind it. We actually want the Hallmark movie about Waluigi having to be Santa Claus for a day. This is my Ohio State one. I really like it. This is my favorite duo. It's always tricky to find the right spot for it, and I'm not sure if I got it perfectly, but they're so cute. And I got a TARDIS down here. And so yeah, I really love my tree. I've always been a big Christmas decorator. Got a lot of presents. Oh, there's Wonder Woman back there. I just think it's fun, and I'm looking forward to collecting more ornaments through the years. And then over here is where our stockings are. And Ryan actually got me these roses early for my birthday, and I love them. So yeah, and I wrapped some presents today, and we have a big bowl of candy down here. These are my birthday presents from my mom. So yeah, I feel festive. I am ready to cozy up and read. Okay, Delilah's being like the absolute cutest on me right now, and I've been reading, and then I was like, you know, my brain kind of wants the audiobook. I wonder who narrates it. Guess what, guys? It's Robin Miles. So I'm gonna listen to that too. Also, sorry if you hear weird rumbling. My living room rumbles when someone does their laundry. Unfortunately, the Bruins lost, but I have gotten a lot of this read, so that's exciting. I for sure will finish this early tomorrow and start Temper, and hopefully that grips me and I will accomplish my goals. We shall see. And I've probably put in clips of the Bruins game because that was still fun to go to, and we did decide to get tickets to see the Cavs-Celtics game next week because I'm a huge Cavs fan and my roommates are obviously Boston fans. So that'll be a fun time. Tickets were like pretty reasonably priced because neither team is like phenomenal right now. And I am really liking this. there is just, there's so much that I like what she does with subverting one of the folklores and things, and yeah, it's just great. I'll talk about it more tomorrow when I'm not like tired and in horrible lighting, but just wanted to say that this first part of this challenge has been relatively successful so far, minus the Bruins not doing too good. It's the birthday, and I just showered, so, you know, wet hair. My hair takes forever to dry. It's why I can like never film in the morning, which sucks because I'm usually the most awake in the morning. But reading plans for the day. So I'm this far. I got to read a bit more last night, so it looks like I'm almost at page 200 in the UK copy, and it's like a 260 page version. So I have like an hour left in this. Oh, hey, Delilah. Delilah likes to be on camera. She's so cute. And then I have not started Temper, but I have it on ebook, physical book, and audio. Hopefully I like the narrator. Hopefully I like the premise. Like I said, normally once I pick up a Nikki Drayden book, I can't put it down. So let's hope that's the theme here, because I need to try in this challenge to read this all today. But I'm glad I have the audiobook so that I can also still knit, because I also wanted to knit today. So still the plans. It's my birthday, and Ryan, I already opened a gift Ryan got me. I'll show you guys later. But most of my gifts I can't open till tomorrow, because that's when we're doing our family Zoom, because tomorrow is my grandmother's birthday. We like almost share a birthday, so we will be opening each other's presents then. And yeah, I'm just excited to relax and just read today. All right, I have finished the first book of the challenge, and it is 10 o'clock, so I have to 11:35 is when I officially turn 29, according to my mother. This is so good, and I know I haven't talked about it a lot. I mean, I talk about it a lot on the channel, but this is the first Karen Lord I ever read, and I love it. So it's such an interesting tale, and it's so short, but it packs so much, and I think it does it so well. Like, and I was nervous at first because the beginning's the roughest part. And I think I'd have to do some research, but the beginning is the one most tied to the Senegal story that it's retelling with Pama and her husband Ansige. And Ansige is this glutton, spoiled man who literally cannot stop eating. And it was interesting because having just finished braiding sweetgrass, it reminded me of the Wendigo stories that they tell in their cultures of people who can't stop. And there's really interesting commentary and reflection on that character. He really isn't just made out to be this complete fool who everything is his fault. Like, it's really interesting. It's not also that he, you know, suffers because of things he couldn't control. It's very much in that middle ground of his actions are, you know, affecting him and there are consequences, but it's more complicated than just will and self-control and being a glutton. I don't know. And Sige is a really interesting, nuanced character, but he is where I know some of my friends who have read this have found some what they would call fat phobia. I don't know. He was only described as like having a round stomach and being like muscular and fat and stout. It was less about what he looked like and more about his actions of overindulging in food and what that made him do. So for me, it didn't come across that way, but I'm not an Own Voices reviewer for fat phobia and things like that. And then after that, though, after you get done with the Ansige part, it just becomes this beautiful traveling story of discussing morals. Like, this is like adult folklore. Like, this is like the stories I read as a kid where you have this like unreal god interacting with a human, and they travel and they learn stuff from each other. And I love Pama, and I love the narrator voice in this story. So I think that's all I can really say spoiler free. I was nervous because Ansige's part's never my favorite, but once you get out of that after like the first 5 chapters, it becomes some of my favorite stuff. And it was amazing to listen to the audiobook because Robin Miles is amazing. So I was so happy to get this reread. It was the opposite of a chore. It was so good. So now get to start this one. And I want to know what these tattoos mean, if this cover is even accurate with that. I am very interested in this like cracked moon. Like, I don't know what this cover has to do with anything, but I'm just excited to find out. All right, so I have thoughts on the start of Temper. I read the first chapter, and actually it looks like there are 7 chapters, and because there's a table of contents. Nikki Drayden uses table of contents. Why don't we do that? Why? And I now understand what these tattoos mean, and I'm interested. This is like It reminds me of when I used to pick up young adult dystopian sci-fi, even though I think this is fantasy. I'm still figuring it out. I'm only 30 some pages in. But our main characters are twins. And in this world, I think almost everyone's born as either fraternal or identical twins. And there's like a set of 7 sins essentially, and they get partitioned between the twins. And there's this like connection, like actual connection between twins that helps them overcome their sins with each other. And our main character has like 6 of them, and their brother only has 1. So that's really interesting to parse. And we've only had the perspective of the brother. And I don't know if this whole story is just going to be Abin's perspective. His brother's name's Kasim. But I'm really interested in that. I think it's future, but I'm not sure. There's a map in it that looks like it might be South Africa, but I'm not positive because it was just the Cape Town, which there's a Cape Town in South Africa, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully I'm not just like ignorantly making things up right now. But regardless, I'm really interested in this. Unfortunately, I don't think the audiobook's gonna work for me. Like the audio narrator's voice is very lovely, like really deep bass, but that's really hard for me to listen to at the speed I want to listen to it at. I don't know if that makes sense. Like if I was listening to it at like 1.5, 1.75 speed, that'd probably be okay. And I might try that when I really need a break for knitting. But in terms of like my normal 2 times, 2.25 times speed, it's just like, it doesn't work with my brain, which is annoying because his voice is really nice. So I don't know. Also, the world building is just really cool. Nikki Drayden does that every time where they give me such a cool world that I get to explore and I get really, really excited. So I finished another chapter. It is very good, but look at these balloons. So many balloons. Ryan told me to go to the mailroom and he bought me a bunch of balloons because I'm a child. I love balloons for my birthday. Ah, they're so pretty. The book is very good though. It's also like, it's got some paranormal, spooky elements to it, which I'm unsurprised because Nikki Drayden it's always genre blendy. I have honestly no clue what genre I'm in. I'm just having fun. And like, there are things happening. And it's a lot of like, how much can you control your vices and virtues? Because I think I said sins before, but it's more vices and virtues. And how much of it is supernatural or already controlled and out of your hands, and how much is tied to religion versus will. It's interesting. It's very interesting. And balloons. Balloons. So I want to go geek out about my balloons and then go back and read another chapter. Because there's 7 chapters and I've already read 2 of them, so yeah. And it's 12:30, so still doing okay. Okay, she's just too cute not to look at while we talk about temper, which I'm like about halfway through, and things just got real. Right, Lila? So real. Oh, she does not care. Lila, you don't want to look over here at the camera? She's so precious. Look at her little paws. Hey, can I get to it? Yeah. She's like, why, Mom? Why are you touching my paws? I don't want that. Oh, big stretch. But yeah, I need to get back to this. The last chapter, woo, ended on a cliffhanger. So good. Okay, it is 7:40. I am this far. Things are happening. What's always fascinating about Nikki Drayden book experience is like you start with one premise and then you end up somewhere else on the other side, but it's really not that long of a book, but you don't feel like it's rushed. And this ending, I think, has the potential to be my favorite. We will see. I have 60 pages left, something like that. And I did end up starting immersion reading this with the audiobook. And when I immersion read it, I can listen to it and it's okay. I don't know if I could do it without the words also there to help with the diction. That's just a little too fast when I listen to his voice. But this cover is really cool, especially having read the book, and it's really creepy. Like if you like unsettling, scary winter reads, I think this is good. This takes place during winter. It has a lot of like things that you would associate with like paranormal, supernatural stuff, but it's honestly like very tangential, but like it's not werewolves, but it reminds me of werewolves, if that makes sense. And it's really interesting commentary on nature versus nurture and vice and virtue and religion and science, which this happens every time I read a Nikki Drayden, where it's first and foremost really great entertainment, but then also like for sure makes you think about other stuff as you're experiencing it. And I can't talk about anything that's happening right now, but every chapter is a journey. There's only 7 chapters, and every chapter is just like, each chapter is not a short story, but each chapter is a chapter for a reason. It follows its own arc. It's so good. So I think though, 740, only 60 pages left. I can for sure finish this before I'm officially 29. So yay. But I think I'm gonna take a break because I think dinner's almost ready and I am a bit hungry. I did it. I finished this, hitting the lamp, at like 9:30. I don't even know how to gather my thoughts. I'll probably do another clip to end the vlog and gather thoughts because right now we are like 7 minutes till my actual like I was born time, because after this I watched Tick Tick Boom again with Ryan because my birthday is when I can make Ryan watch something with me and he didn't hate it. And it was just kind of, you know, it ends on the happy birthday song and it just ended and it's basically, you know, it's my birthday. It was great. But yeah, I need to sleep on Temper. I haven't read 400 pages in a day in a very, very, very long time. And that's basically what I did today. This is a 380 page book and I read 60 pages of Redemption and Indigo this morning. So yeah, it's just nice. I got all this reading out of my system. So I'll update in like tomorrow my thoughts on Temper and end the vlog then, but this was a really fun project and I did it in my balloons. All right, we're ending this vlog. It's the next evening. I've opened up presents and I feel like at the beginning of this vlog I wouldn't have had things to show off like book related, but I got a lot of book related presents. I mentioned some of them in the Friday reads that already went up, but more has happened. But first, let's talk about Temper, because I've had some time to think about my thoughts. And so Nicky Drayden falls into this type of reading experience for me that's a lot like Robert Jackson Bennett for me, which is enjoyment level first, and then there is always a little something missing with the thematic density if I think about the themes too much. And that's the case here too. And so that's the case in Foundryside, Sorefall, and the Divine Cities trilogy. And this is the fourth Nicky Drayden I've read. And in all of them, I really loved the worlds and the characters, and the plot is always bananas. And then the endings are always just a tiny bit like rushed or convenience, although I don't hate this one. I've never hated any of them, but I don't dislike this one as much as others. But still also the thematic things don't always like, I think they do the job of making me think about them and like be like, wait, what are we doing? But at the same time, I wish it was more fleshed out. It's kind of like teasing me. So in one way, I love that this is a standalone and it's so bananas and everything it does is so interesting. But I also wish it was a duology or a trilogy where we could really explore some of the consequences that are teased out in this. Also, a thing that I thought was interesting, if I can find the other book that I read in this vlog. So both of these have themes of vices, virtues. In this, we follow a glutton character for the first part of it and how that is wrong and how zombies sometimes punish people or trick people when they have their vices going too far. And in this one, we literally have a society divided by vices and virtue. And they both discuss how much of your vices and virtues are your own fault, how much are they bad or good, especially in this one. And I think it's interesting. And I just think that's also where I wanted it thought out a bit more, especially near the end when we have one of our last big turning points. So it's really interesting and weird. And I can't even discuss some of the things spoiler-free because like the number of twists in this book. Remember when I said this reminded me of a young adult dystopian thing? It's true for like 4 chapters and then it's adult. This is adult, okay? Not for kids. I don't care that it starts in a school setting and has a separate school setting and that the characters are in their late teens. This is adult. And it's definitely genre blendy. It's definitely like future fantasy, sci-fi, horror, paranormal-ish. Yeah, it's weird, but in the way that I love things. So it's so entertaining. I read it in a day. Yes, I was doing this challenge vlog, but like I couldn't have read this in a day if I didn't enjoy it, you know, right? Like it has to be compelling, and I was compelled. And yeah, it definitely makes me think, and I just wish it was more, right? Like that, it's just, Nikki Drayden is missing this like little something that would make all of the books that I've read that are like 4.5 stars, 5 stars. She's like this little something. So I'm going to keep reading Nikki Drayden books because they are so fun and hope one day I get that 5 star. So I did it. I read these 2 books before I turned officially 29. And now we're going to do a little mini birthday haul. So I already showed these in the Friday read, so I'll just show them to you guys real quick. Buffy. 2 graphic novels. I think they're really pretty. I don't know how much of a retelling they are versus how close they are to the episodes. I do think they show that what episodes they are inspired, but I don't own many graphic novels and I'm excited to have these. The art is just pretty. I'm not good at reading graphic novels. I was asking Ollie, my sibling, like, how does one know how long to look at the pictures? Because I'm just not good at taking things in and like looking at details. So they gave me some pointers there. And speaking of graphic novels, guys, I got it. This is so pretty. And the introduction's by Gerard Way, which is really cool, lead singer of My Chemical Romance, and also makes comics for Umbrella Academy and Killjoys. I'm very excited. The art in this is stunning. Like I love the colors and the pictures, and Green Lantern has always been one of the magic systems in DC I've always really enjoyed, like perfect blend of like magic sci-fi. So excited to have this. So I've got 3 graphic novels for my birthday. Who is she? I also got, for my collection to probably read next year, Titanic. Although it's funny, the negative news I've heard about this from both Jesse and Jess have kind of made me want to read it. I don't know, but also there's a part of me that's like, I should just wait for the 4th book to be out. Like I probably should just do that and just do an entire reread. But I have it for my shelf because I own the other 2 way up there in hardback. So my stepdad got me both of these because he always gives me my favorite authors. And I told him this was coming out by Jemison. This is Sanderson. And the biggest surprise that I'm so excited about is I have a Kindle Oasis. I have had a Kindle Paperwhite forever, which I do like it, but it's old and the software is really slow. So I was looking into updating and maybe updating to the Oasis because the Oasis has like buttons. Oh, this came with ads. I'm gonna have to like pay to get the ads removed. Ugh, because I don't really want to show you this. I'll swipe to unlock. Okay, so yeah, it's got the buttons to switch the pages. It makes me so excited. So yeah, I like it. And it does feel nice to hold it with this thing, although when you use the cover, you can't quite hold it. Like, yeah. Also, it's just recommending to me the Bone Shard Emperor, which, like, yes, it's on my Kindle. Like, it's the ARC, but yeah, I need to get rid of these ads. That's what I'm treating myself to. I'm gonna pay to get rid of the ads. I just don't like the ads on them. I know it makes it a cheaper device. It's just, I don't know. I got rid of them on the Paperwhite and I really liked it. I'm rambling now. Okay. This is the end of the vlog. I wasn't expecting to be showing you guys stuff, but those are all the things I got from my birthday, from my family, and it's great. And I loved doing this challenge. My grandma was asking me tonight when we were celebrating her birthday, what did I do on my birthday? And I'm like, I just read all day. It was great. And that's what she did today. So, yep, read these 2 books, and it was fantastic. Thanks again for all the birthday wishes. I know I already said that in the Friday reads, but it brought me so much joy. And hopefully this was interesting, fun, I don't know. If you want to leave an emoji, I don't know. Leave something blue or indigo. Yeah. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.